Hi, my name is Joseph Martinezson, and this is the presentation for my senior project, which I'm calling Bottlr. Throughout this presentation, I'll be going through the corporate design systems associated with Bottlr, as well as some of the services and technologies associated with it. My objective statement is design a service that uses branding, usability testing, and ethnographic research to holistically solve a problem. My problem statement is there is not a music streaming service on the market that combines music identification, geolocation services, and social media in an effective way. My solution and hunt statement is I am going to research music streaming and user demographics so that I can design an app that incorporates identification and social media into the listening experience. Before going into the services, I'd like to talk about Bottlr's brand history. Bottlr was founded in 2020 and has a headquarters in Chico, California. At the time, there was a need for music streaming services with social and identification capabilities. So what exactly is Bottlr? Bottlr is a music streaming service with a $7 a month subscription for premium users. It includes a library curation emphasis as well as some services including an identification system, filtration system, a recommendation system, accessible user analytics, geolocation interactivity, and social media integration. Here's an overview of my stakeholder analysis. Without going into depth, the hierarchy includes number 1, the company, which we have to keep satisfied. Number 2, the consumers, which we have to manage closely. Number 3, third parties, including the US Copyright Office, record labels, and big data companies, which we have to monitor. And 4, the media, which we have to keep informed. Here's an overview of my competitive analysis. In this analysis, I looked at Spotify, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, YouTube, and Shazam, and compared their music streaming services to Bottlr. As you can see, when it comes to premium subscriptions, geolocation services, analytics, music identification, social media, and streaming, Bottlr is the only service that checks all of those marks. Here's a look at my customer acquisition model. At the bottom, we have public outreach, which is my step 1. This includes social media and press, digital advertising, word of mouth, and Bottlr's website. After that is incentives, which includes free premium trials and third-party bundles. And finally at the top, we have our sales, which include subscriptions and merchandise sales. Before reaching sales, though, we do have a few bottlenecks that we'll have to solve. This includes funding, licensing, and finding users. Now we'll be talking about Bottlr's branding. In particular, its brand voice. We've chosen 3 words at Bottlr we feel really exemplify what Bottlr is all about, and that includes collaborative, intuitive, and innovative. These 3 words were used in every step of the branding process. So here's a look at Bottlr's combination mark. As you can see, it's both text-based and image-based. And the O of the word is in the shape of a bottle with some sound waves on the inside. These sound waves were staggered to represent movement as well as audio, and they're the same color as the cap of the bottle to represent the capturing of audio, which is ultimately Bottlr's main service. The alternate mark is just the icon of the logo, all text dropped. And this logo is also dynamic, meaning that it can feature some gradients when needed. Here's a little bit of our visual language. On the left is an example of what Bottlr could look like on the letterhead. And on the right is an envelope featuring Bottlr's branding. And here's also a look at what Bottlr's business card might look like. And finally is a look at Bottlr on a digital sign advertisement. Bottlr's primary colors include deep sea, ocean breeze, and pearly white, Its secondary colors include onyx and overcast and are used in times when color is not available as well as in our digital text. For Bottlr's logo typeface, I selected Brandon Grotesque Black because it is bold, it's clean, and playful. Avenir is selected for its readability and simplicity, and that is used in all of our digital text. For the user research, I looked into the users of Spotify to see exactly what our target demographic would be. What I found is that Spotify receives its primary revenue from ads and its secondary revenue from premium subscriptions. Their target audience is ages 18 to 24, and it's not clearly gendered. However, there is a female dominant user base. The clear draw is customization of services. There's more emphasis on user experience. The US and the UK are the largest consumer markets, and their largest target demographic is young business professionals. So here's my user persona for Bottlr. Her name is Emily. She's a 24-year-old female living in Sacramento, California. She's single and has a bachelor's degree in psychology. She's currently working as a social worker and makes $50,000 a year. Her favorite genre is indie pop. For her goals and needs, Emily ultimately wants to discover new music, identify the songs she hears on the go, and share with her friends the new music that she finds. Here's a look at her user empathy chart. Some things that Emily says are, I wish Spotify had a song identification system. You need to hear this song, and I want to hear something new. Some things she thinks are, there has to be a better music streaming app out there, and other people might like her tastes. Some things she does are send music links to her friends, ravenously search for new songs, and keeps an organized music library. And finally, some things she feels are frustrated with tech limitations, she feels isolated in her music experience, and she feels eager to try something new. Here's a look at Emily's user journey map. The first step in the process to using Bottlr is the discovery stage, where she would see it in advertising, hear it from a friend, or just happen to stumble upon it in the App Store. Step 2 is consideration. This is where she compares Bottlr's services to that of its competitors. Step 3 is her decision. Is she going to download this app, or is she not going to download this app? And finally is her post experience. This includes whether or not she comes back to the app and whether or not she recommends it to her friends and family. So here's a look at my service blueprint map. As you can see, some of the front stage processes include our app, our website information, a sign-up email, geotagged songs, a custom library curation, and an auto-tailored playlist. Some backstage processes that the user does not see are the financial funding, the market research, user database, the App Store, and user analytics. So here's a look at the UI style guide, which is used in the app. As you can see, there's a number of icons that represent library, search, there's the Bottlr logo, discover, settings, and a number of graphics, and the typography used for the app is San Francisco Compact Display, which is used for its readability. Here's a look at the app user flowchart. From the landing page, it branches off into library, search, discover, profile, and there's a Bottlr icon in the center, which is used for the music ID system. Here's a look at some of my wireframes that I designed. On the far left is the sign-in page, and then there's the library page, the search page, and a look at what a profile page might look like. Here's the same wireframes, but with some vectors to show a prototype of what this app might look like. And now I'm going to give you an overview of how the app works. So introducing Bottlr. You start by simply just signing in with an email or password, I'm sorry. Here's a look at the library. You can toggle through music, podcasts, and radio, but we're going to start going into music and songs. And here is a list of some songs that are downloaded. You can search for music and play it. Here, there's also going to be a number of ways where you can share the song with others. I'll be getting to that in just a minute. So this is the Discover tab, and here's a system called the Bottle Pool. If you accept the location services request, you can zoom into the location that you are on the map and find a bottle that someone's dropped. In this instance, Sing by the artist, and you can choose to add it to your library. Go back to the Bottle Pool and zoom in again. Now let's say you want to drop a bottle this time. You select the song, hit the same icon, and you can drop it for someone else to discover. And finally, here's a look at the user profile. It shows the number of bottles, and here's a way where you can discover new music that you hear on the go. Thank you for listening to my presentation of Bottlr. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email at contact@bottlr.app. Thank you for listening.